Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk, NFTs, Crypto, and Web3. I'm your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today, she is the creator of Crypto Madonna's NFTs. Please welcome Nadi. Hello, Nadi, and welcome to the show.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
Hello, hello, hello. So, I want to go ahead and get started by asking, where are you from, and tell us about your upbringing a little bit.
Well, where I am from, this is always a complicated question for me because I was born in Moldova in Soviet time, USSR. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up in Belarus, and for 7 years I lived in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of mix. I have kind of mixed cultures, and I don't feel that I belong to any of them. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand myself as like cosmopolite, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
uh, like this.
Yeah, yeah. Like, did you, go to school for art, or are you self-taught in
Yes,
art?
yes. I have a kind of very long art education. I started to learn art in the art school since I was 11 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and then architectural university, and then second university as a web designer. And
Mm-hmm.
I still continue to learn because you have to be flexible to survive in this world, to learn new
Mm-hmm.
things, modern technologies. So I still continue my education as art history and new technologies of art and digital and
Right.
traditional. It
Mm-hmm.
continues always.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You do have to definitely be flexible, between making art and other things. I went to art school as well to do art. So yeah, like I did like illustration and I minored in fibers, which is like, like knitting, crocheting and, natural dyeing and things like that. So yeah, you do
Oh,
have to be,
cool.
pretty balanced and flexible. Now, in regarding to your art, I really love your artwork because it reminds me like of neoclassicism a little bit, but also has this surrealist type of vibe. Like, so what are some things you draw inspiration from regarding to your artwork?
Yeah, as you told and correctly said, this is Renaissance and Surrealism for sure.
Mhm,
As I have a very traditional art education,
mhm,
I so classic paintings,
mhm,
masterpieces, very famous, are my inspiration. All my
mhm.
Cryptomadonnas are based on very classic light system and compositions.
Right,
And even name Madonna is I'm inspired by world famous paintings of Madonnas.
right.
And I am trying to use very traditional style of painting
Mhm,
using digital tools,
mhm,
but adding some even hyping and modern details to express
mhm,
my feelings about what's going on in the world right now.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to connect today and past
right.
experience of art.
Yeah, yeah, connecting, past and the future. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes,
I
for
totally
sure.
understand what you're saying. But yeah, but what are like some like your favorite artists in regarding like in the Renaissance or like neoclassicism or surrealism?
Yeah, for sure. This is Dali,
Mhm,
Munch, Klimt, and
mhm,
if to talk about modern artists, so this is Refika Nado.
mhm,
This is my favorite and very inspiring for me.
mhm. Yeah, Salvador Dali, I've always drew inspiration from him because like I loved his work, and especially how like not only was it very detailed in painting, but it was also very surrealistic. It wasn't, so much attention to, realistic details. And I loved how we did like the elephants that's so tall with legs and the clocks are melting and the faces and the butterfly ship.
All
So,
this melting and mixing, amazing.
yeah, yeah, right, exactly. And also too, another person that I got very inspired by is Hieronymus Bosch. And his work is very, very cool. I think he's Dutch, I think. But his work is like there's so much stuff going on in his artwork. One of the pieces that I looked at, which I find very, very interesting, is the Garden of Earthly Delights. I don't know if you've seen that painting, but there's so much stuff going on. Like there's this heaven and hell, and and yeah, I like how artists, do a lot of detail, and the composition. There's a lot of stuff to look at. That's what I like.
Because it creates a story which you can
Right.
read like a movie in one painting.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing, most definitely. Especially with neoclassicism, like, they done the panel paintings, the Renaissance did like the realistic, the hyper realistic paintings where there's stuff going on, especially, the Sistine Chapel. If you look at the Sistine Chapel in during the Renaissance, that church, they had like all these, paintings with, so much stuff going on, like biblical stories. Yeah, so I like how it tells a story. Like I said, I like how a lot of things are going on, not just in one space, but it's like so spread out. So
Also, I would say that not only artists inspire me, but
mhm,
also architecture, as I'm architect actually, former, let's
mhm,
say. And one of my favorite is Hundertwasser.
mhm,
And he is also has so many amazing details and so unexpected details. You can never expect something like this.
mhm,
And different functions of these elements. So this is
mhm.
also very inspiring kind of art architecture.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. But I definitely want to get into on a post in terms of Twitter of what you said in terms about your artwork, because I found it very interesting. So you said, I play with my inner monsters and sing with inner voices. So could you speak more about that, and how have you been able to, use like your life experience, or how have you been able to connect with your artwork?
Well, I believe, of course, all of us, we try to be good
Hmm.
people, show us that we are good and kind, but let's be honest, we are not like 100% like this. We all have
Right.
our inner monsters and demons, their
Hmm.
fears, anger, and just we are
Yeah, anger.
angry, we are jealous, we are afraid,
Hmm.
and all this I call monsters, all these feelings and emotions.
Hmm.
And some of these monsters make you stronger when you know how
Hmm.
to communicate with them,
Right.
how to make this balance.
Hmm.
You don't let them lead you.
Hmm.
You lead the game. So they
Right.
express themselves a little in your
Hmm.
limits, in your rules,
Right.
and like this you live in harmony with what you feel inside. So
Hmm.
in my art, all my artworks, every Crypto Madonna has a dark side,
Right.
some details, some vibe. You can feel that there are not like cute children illustrations, no.
Hmm.
And I hope with my art to help people to understand that it's okay to not be good always. It's okay to feel
Right.
something wrong and to be bad a little bit. It's okay. As long as you are leading the game, leading the song, the game. So
Hmm.
this is what I mean in my art and with this speech you asked.
Hmm. Yeah, I find it very interesting because I like how you play with, not only like the surrealistic style, you have your own unique surrealistic style, but also too, you do, cover or talk about like darkness, in your work, because I think that reminds me of like Van Gogh, because Van Gogh talked about like his struggles, and he had a self-portrait of himself. Like, I didn't know that like he cut his ear off because he really liked somebody. I think that's from what from my understanding. I could be wrong on that, but that's what Van Gogh expressed. Like, that's saying what Edward Munch, when you look at the screen, that's that's a classic piece, but it's like it's giving you like, yo, I'm terrified, I'm scared, so I like how with certain artists they project, life struggles, or they talk about it through their
Right.
work.
We are not perfect. We are weak. We are afraid. We feel different emotions, unhappy, happy, and
Hmm.
in modern life, all of
Hmm.
us we try to look. We have vitrine. We try to look one way, which is acceptable by society, but
Hmm.
it's very hard. It's a burden to stay always in correct limits. So it's okay to accept who you are and all your
Hmm.
feelings.
Right.
Accepting is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, in regards to just NFTs and what they want to switch gears a little bit, like how did you get started into NFTs and what they like? Who really exposed you, or what exposed you to NFTs?
Well, like 1.5 years ago, I started to learn about NFT.
Mm-hmm.
That time I was a fashion illustrator, and
Okay.
there is a fashion illustrator kind of famous, and not
Mm-hmm.
kind of, she's famous Ukrainian fashion
Right.
illustrator, Nadine Samarina. And I
Mm-hmm.
was a big fan of her and followed her for years in Instagram. And
Mm-hmm.
she went to Web3 and NFT world, and she was sharing her journey. And
Mm-hmm.
that time I understood that it's not only for, people who understand programming, coding, and something like this. This is also
Right.
for artists. I didn't expect this. I was surprised and shocked. And I
Right.
started to learn and found myself here. So this is really something much easier than people expect
Mm-hmm.
to be.
Yeah, right. Because when I first heard about NFTs, I was like, am I late? Because I know a lot of people are getting, people are getting into NFTs and stuff like that. I thought it'd be like a popular thing, but this technology is pretty new. And so, I didn't learn about it till like spring of last year of what NFTs and Web3 is and things like that. So I'm still learning the whole thing with NFTs and Web3. And, it's pretty cool because there's a lot of spaces that'll teach you about it. Where they say, hey, if you need help, contact me, DM me, and things like that. So I like how helpful the community is.
We are still learning, and NFT world is still developing because we are just in the
Right.
beginning, of course. And actually, we are building it now. All of
Mm-hmm.
us who came in the beginning, we support
Mm-hmm.
each other. We support this world to go
Mm-hmm.
forward. And I'm actually, I feel happy and proud to be in the beginning.
Right. Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm happy to jump into the beginning stages and learning about this stuff now. But I definitely want to get into your NFT collection called Crypto Madonnas. So what has been the journey like just having your own NFT collection or just selling, artwork as NFTs?
Well, actually, it's again about connection between past and future because
Mm-hmm.
I created my first 10 Crypto Madonnas 10 years ago. I was still
Okay.
architect working in the office.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as funny as maybe people can expect. It's kind of boring work because, like, no matter why. So I
Mm-hmm.
had some free time, and to relax, I started to draw and make sketches, and somehow I created collection of 10
Right.
cute and creepy creatures, and I didn't know what to do with them. Like, I love them
Uh,
so much, but
mm-hmm.
I couldn't make them alive. Like, what can I do? Like, children
Right.
illustration or book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept them for these 10 years, the papers.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I learned about NFT, I understood that finally I found the way to make them alive, to give them meaning,
Mm-hmm.
to make them real, to create a world for them.
Mm-hmm.
I just painted in digital. This is my first 10 sketches, and
Right.
it was the best what I could do with this, because now Cryptomadonna's work is really spreading. People love it. People
Mm-hmm.
feel a special bond, and they a connection with my art. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the best what I could feel, of course.
Mm-hmm.
For the beginning, no, I planned to make 100 Madonnas.
Mm-hmm.
For now, 43 Madonnas are ready and tokenized, minted.
Mm-hmm.
Around half of them are sold.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is a project which is I'm connecting to the future, because I have a big dream and plan to make
Right.
a game,
Mm-hmm.
a computer game with Crypto Madonna's world.
Wow, that sounds really
So,
cool.
so really, in general, these Madonnas are not just artworks. Each
Mm-hmm.
Madonna is a collectible card. which
Mm.
gives a collector early access to all my next projects, including this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the profit I get from the selling, I collected for creating this game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my investing in this future of the world. I want to make it wide and spread.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm working on the merch, like sweatshirts and like socks, whatever, with Crypto Madonnas, to give them life in real world, also in real life, not only offline, online, but also offline.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm working on.
That's really, really amazing. Now, in regards to your artwork, like, do you do mostly digital? Do you use traditional, like painting, sketching? Like, what's your process in regards to like your artwork?
Uh, every Crypto Madonna is made first by as a sketch, just
Mm,
like pencil sketch, and then I paint over it in Procreate,
mm.
uh, like this. But I also have plans. I hope to have more time, more hours in a day than 24. It's not enough
Right, exactly.
to create some paintings,
Mm,
traditional paintings with Crypto Madonnas. But
mm,
it's for futures, because for now I am very busy with digital collection.
mm. Yeah, that's really, really awesome. But what are some things that you've learned within regards to selling like NFTs or just being in the Web3 space in general?
Well, this is space which makes you run and learn, because if you
Mm-hmm.
will stay one day, you are late. You always have to learn some new technologies, online galleries,
Mm-hmm.
um online exhibitions, like minting, different marketplaces,
Mm-hmm.
different systems of doing this, of
Mm-hmm.
showing your art, performing, communicating.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what is important is communication.
Right.
Yes, because NFT and all Web3 world, actually, as I understand it, is about communication and connection people. The
Mm-hmm.
community is very supportive and friendly, not toxic,
Right.
and it is even kind of surprisingly how long
Mm-hmm.
this community is existing and developing without getting, you know, toxic. Really,
Right.
really
Right.
so supportive, so much support, so much help.
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really
Absolutely.
have to communicate. You know it
Mm.
better than me.
Yeah, yeah. That's like how I said before, where there's a lot of space that are willing to help you, or just to help you stay in the know in regards to Web3, NFTs and the metaverse, and I like where NFTs is really really going. It's not just with just artwork. Metaverse fashion is getting popular in the NFT
Hope
Web3
so.
space. Yeah, yeah, hope so. You know what I mean? AR and VR. I like how people are using that, for fashion, metaverse fashion, not only for games, but also like, augmented reality, virtual reality, so there's so many facets in regards to NFT. So it's not just like, traditional artwork. It's different ways you can have, an NFT. Like it could be music, it could be something that you've written, it's whatever it is.
Yes, NFT is absolutely not just art.
Mm-hmm.
This is a ticket to another world, to this something we can only imagine what is coming to us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to see, hope so, this future.
Yeah, yeah, right, absolutely. And one thing that I've really learned is just to beware of scams, because I know people ran into, scams, and when you click a link, you just lose everything. So I understand so
Yes.
far in the NFT space, like be mindful of scams and links and whatever.
Yes, cameras are terrifying me, of course, also. And every day I get different messages where people try to get my money or my collection or
Right.
my accounts. You have to be very aware, of course, and very careful. And
Hmm.
this is very important to learn how to protect yourself, your art, your
Right.
accounts. This is
Hmm.
this is just the same like you have to protect your house or your children. just in online world, the same attention you have to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. But I definitely want to get into like, AI a little bit because AI is growing in popularity in regards, for artists, people are doing AI art. And I definitely want your perspective on this. What is your perspective of AI and how artists are using it for their work?
I believe that AI will develop and we can't stop it. So
Right.
it is just like 150 years ago, people couldn't stop photography and artists couldn't stop the progress. And the same
Right.
is happening now. We
hmm
shouldn't
hmm
forbid it or try to do something like this because I believe that AI will separate from traditional or digital art to a
hmm
separated branch of art. And it
hmm
is actually also not very easy to become a successful AI artist because, again, you have to have some taste, understanding of composition. You have to have a picture inside of your head, and
Right.
then you have to make this prompt
hmm
correctly to let it lead you to the result you expect,
hmm
which is also very complicated actually. And I see that it's already a
hmm
new kind of job, prompt master.
Right.
This is so exciting. Like just in few months, a new branch of art and job appeared.
Right.
This is very interesting. I use
Mhm.
AI sometimes, mostly for brainstorming, because only AI can create such crazy ideas and
Mhm.
compositions,
Right.
especially if you need something surrealistic or dark.
Right.
I use it for brainstorming, but I
Mhm.
have no problems with artists who use it for details, backgrounds,
Mhm.
or 100 II, because I know how hard it is. It's not only you press button and it
Mhm.
gives you wonderful result. No.
Yeah, absolutely. What has been some of your favorite like women-led NFT projects or collections?
Well, I love Crazy Sexy X's.
Mhm.
This is very, very cool project. But also, I want to say that I am a member of one community, Creative
Mhm.
X. They're a community of women artists. We have two men artists. I have to notice this, but they totally share with us and
Mhm.
support our concept of women art and women
Mhm.
visibility in art.
Mhm.
Of course, all of us, we see that in the Web3 and NFT world, men artists are more successful. And we know why, because
Right.
they only work. They
Mhm.
don't have to share this time to a home, children, and other this stuff we have to do.
Right.
So we
Mhm.
have much, much less time to create our success.
Mhm.
So that's why with Creative X, we created a channel
Mhm.
with free information
Right.
for new members. Mostly there are girls and women.
Mhm.
When I started NFT, it was very hard to find information in Russian, almost impossible. Always
Right.
all in English. Now
Mhm.
there are more information, but still not enough. So we
Mhm.
translated, we made videos, we made like workshops and channel with
Mhm.
free information to help women to not lose this time to find this information, to
Right.
start faster.
Mhm.
So we know how it is important and we try to help as much as we can.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Now, within, NFTs and Web3, or just you being an artist, like what are like your future like plans and goals, in the next like, 5 or 10 years? Do you see yourself like still being in the NFT Web3 space? Like, where do you see yourself 10 years?
Well, for now, NFT is my full-time job. Actually,
Mhm.
I really give all my time to this, and I
Mhm.
believe in it, and I see perspective. I believe that all of us will go much deeper in web life, in online metaverses, in different
Mhm.
kind of with games, and maybe something new will come which we can't expect now even and imagine. So I'm not going to leave this world. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue my project with Crypto Madonnas. I'm going to make the game. So this is my closest plans, and then we will see. But I think I'm going to stay in online world with my art and with my plans.
Nice. That's really, really cool. Last but not least, where could people find you on social media, and how could people support Crypto Madonnas?
Well, you can find me in Twitter. This is Crypto Madonnas, and in Instagram I am Crypto Madonna. Also in YouTube, where I share a work in progress and some details and educational videos for my followers. So everywhere you can find me as a Crypto Madonna. This is my second name anymore.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Nadi, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely great. I love the surrealistic style you have within your artwork. I love it. With each piece is very different and unique, and your style is very unique too. So thank you so much. I had a very wonderful conversation.
Thank you a lot for invitation for all this interview. I was happy to join.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Also visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and look out for more interviews involving NFTs, crypto, Web3, and the metaverse.